Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So today, I'm going to walk you guys through making your own worm tea solution that you can use as a foliar spray, or you can run it through your irrigation. Now let's talk about why. Who even cares, right? Like, why one more thing for the garden? Let me tell you how wonderful it is to use worm tea, guys. It will infuse and repopulate your soil with beneficial microbes. Okay, that includes bacteria, fungi, all the things that you need to make your plants grow healthy. Another amazing thing about worm casting tea is that when you spray it as a foliar spray onto your plant, leaves, fruits, flowers, around the root zone, up the stem, the entire plant, you just drench it. One, you're never gonna burn it. And two, it's gonna act like body armor for your plant. It is gonna be a pest and disease deterrent. Now it's gonna last about 3 to 5 days on your plant before it's totally absorbed or it's totally washed off if you have a heavy rain. So it does need to be reapplied about every 5 to 7 days as a foliar spray. The greatest thing about worm casting tea, and I just mentioned it, is you cannot overuse it. It's not gonna burn your plants. It's not going to destroy your crops. It's not a commercial chemical fertilizer. The next thing that really helps is it will increase your earthworm population in your garden. So when you're spraying worm tea, it's like a pheromone for earthworms. Why? They don't really know. But the more you use worm castings and worm tea in your garden, the more earthworms you're going to see. It's just going to bring them in, guys. They're going to come. It's like putting fresh feed in a trough for cows. They hear it being poured and they're running. So that's kind of like the earthworm situation. Using a worm tea in your garden is going to increase your yield. In other words, you're going to get more fruits and vegetables from that plant. So let's get busy. Let's talk about what we're going to do and what you're going to need to make your own worm tea. You're either going to need a 5-gallon bucket with a lid, or you can even use a 1-gallon pitcher and just put the lid back on top of it, or use saran wrap. Now, a lot of people tell you to go get like a fish tank aerator, and that is great, but what if you don't have that? Well, all you need is a good stick or a wooden spoon to stir this every couple of hours and it'll be just fine. It just takes the process a little longer. So if you're gonna use an aerator, you can make this tea in 24 hours. If you don't have an aerator, you need to be stirring it anywhere from 48 to 72 hours. At the end of 24 or 72 hours, guys, you need to remove the castings out of the tea. Okay, so the way that we do it here is I use a knee-high stocking. You can also use a sock. You're gonna put 2 to 3 cups of castings in this stocking and drop it into your bucket. Now what that's gonna do, it's gonna keep you from needing to filter before putting in your sprayer, okay? So it's gonna keep the granules of worm castings from clogging up your sprayer, and that's important. Now here at Starkey Farmstead, we make our own worm castings. And the greatest thing about this is full of the correct microbial activity, microbes that I need to get into my garden soil and onto my plants. If you were purchasing castings from like a Walmart or a big box store, let me warn you guys, it's been there for months. It's dried out, it's not moist, the microbes are probably minimal at best. So if you don't make your own castings, find someone locally or find someone like us that can ship to you the castings that you're gonna need, all right? So you don't wanna be purchasing castings that have been heated and dried or stored for more than 3 months because, again, your microbial level is going to be minimal. You can't beat what I'm holding in my hand, fresh castings. Now the next step is to fill your bucket full of water. You want 3 to 5 gallons of water if you're using a 5-gallon bucket. If you're just gonna use a 1-gallon container, what you need to do in that situation is only use about a 1/4 cup of castings, okay? So you're gonna have to adjust the ratio of castings to the amount of water that you're going to use. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna fill this bucket up, put our castings in our stockings, drop that down in the bucket. Now, just a quick tip for you guys. If you're using city water, if you're using chlorinated water, set your bucket up, fill it with water, leave it in direct sunlight for 24 hours. In other words, put it out in the morning, go back out the next morning and get it. What's it gonna do? It's gonna remove all the chlorine. It's gonna evaporate the chlorine out of your water, making it exactly like you need. Now I'm using well water, so I don't have to take all those extra steps. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fill this bucket up, and then I'm gonna show you guys the very next thing we're gonna do. Organic castings and our stocking into the water. Make sure you make a knot in the top, guys, or your castings are simply going to come back out of your stocking or your sock. You see, it's already turning the water brown. That's what I want, right? So now we have one big step left, and you don't want to miss this step, guys. You either need to add honey, molasses, or brown sugar to this bucket directly into the water. What that is it's basically fuel for your microbes. So as your bacteria begin to thrive, because see what's gonna happen is you're gonna come out here and either put your aerator in, it's gonna put bubbles, which is oxygen, or you're gonna stir it every time you think about it, put your lid back on. Well, you have to feed the bacteria. And guess what feeds bacteria? Sugar. And that, I think, is why you're seeing so much research done on if you have cancer, remove all sugars out of your diet. Okay, so just remember that. If you're sick, you've got a lot of bacterial infections going on, start removing the sugars out of your diet. The processed foods, the corn syrup, get that all out of your diet, guys. Because it's feeding the bacteria in your body exactly like we're fixing to feed the bacteria in this bucket. Let's go get our molasses. I only had right at 1 tablespoon of molasses left, and it was stuck to the bottom of my jar. So put me a little water in here and give it a good shake. The recipe does call for 1 to 2 tablespoons. I wouldn't use more than that. You're just gonna make your bacteria grow faster, and then when they run out of fuel, sugar, they're gonna eat each other. And you're actually gonna do more harm for the tea than good. So it is not an exact science, but there are some things you can and cannot do. Once you get this molasses into this bucket, you're going to give it a couple of really good stirs with whatever you have handy. I tell you guys all the time, it's not that hard. I know people have fancy gadgets, and I watch my dad garden. My dad's an upcycle, recycle, repurpose guy. I want to tell you guys, we had a gentleman here for our worm forming class the other day, and he made a comment that will stick with me the rest of my life. He literally said, you can't be a regenerative farmer if you can't regenerate and repurpose materials. So I took that to heart. I told him I was going to use it in one of our videos. I hope you're listening. And here I am repurposing. Cool thing is there's holes here because it's a worm tower. So as I'm doing this, I'm getting lots of oxygen down in there. Look how brown it already is. Okay, I'll put my lid on it. I'm gonna take it back in the shop out of the sun. I'm gonna stir it every couple of hours over the next 48 hours, and then that's going on my plants. Now guys, I'm telling you, you can't beat making your own worm tea. Of course you can buy it. Again, how old is it? Have the microbes literally eaten each other? Is it even good anymore? Did they process it? Did they have to high heat it like they do everything else before it hit the shelf? Just telling you, you want to be an organic regenerative gardener? Do it yourself. You want to cut out all the input costs it's costing you to grow healthy food without chemical toxins? You're gonna have to learn your processes, guys. I hope that this encourages you. If I could learn it, you can learn it. I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you. I was not a gardener or a homesteader 3 years ago. So you guys be blessed. Thank you for rowing in our boat. Thank you for letting us row in yours. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know, are you making your own worm castings, and are you going to attempt to make your own worm tea? If you are, or you've already done it, put a comment below. Thank you guys for watching. Have a very blessed day.